Okay. I hope so. You guys and remember last sessions where we cover about some topics, NESAs and Babsuit. I guess I started the Babsuit topic first, and then due to the time issue, I told you that we will cover Babsuit remaining topics. All right. So let's start Bobsuit tools and various tabs which is available on the Bobsuit. Okay, so Bobsuit is a vulnerable assessment tool and penetration testing tools actually. Okay, all right. So I guess I already told you how to download Bobsuit. There are number of versions which is available for the Google. You can download it. So today's topic on the Bobsuit, we will cover various tabs like target, a proxy, intruder, a repeater. So what is target? These tools contain details information about your target applications and lets you drive the process of a testing for the vulnerabilities. It means like you can in like crawling your website or your applications within the target apps. Okay, the whole details you can see over the target apps. What about the proxy? Proxy is nothing but you can intercept the traffic between your browser and your Pubsud. So we will discuss in deep later. Okay, not later. Just clear me this four topic first, and then we'll take look on the practical. So proxy used for to intercept the traffic between browser and your Pubsud. Intruder also used for to do some customizing the attacks to do the brute force attack and all. Okay, that again I will tell you later. So repeater also the tab which we will cover today. Okay. So what is target? I just told you that target where you can see the crawl website, the crawling like if the website having admin panel, you can see using the target app. Okay, or number of sensitive files and folders, which is as a normally when you do the go buster or the buster. Okay, if you are a penetration tester, then you better know that tool. Okay, so same the file or the folder which is a sensitive file and folder are available on the website that we can find using the GoBuster or DubBuster. Similar way, Bubsuit is used for to find the files. Okay, so target tab is for to do the crawling. Okay, and again the proxy also. Okay, so what a proxy actually do? Look at here, it look like the web applications. Okay, and between the web server and your application there is a Bubsuit. All right. So when you intercept the traffic, okay, suppose you want to log in on the Facebook, you open the browser and you ask for the login for the Facebook. The Facebook will be show you or give you a login page, and then you can use Bubsuit to to send the request from your browser, like username is like Raj and the password 1234. When you insert the user and password and send to the server, a web server, at that time your Bubsuit will intercept the traffic. Okay, and they will Bubsuit will modify your traffic and send to the web server. Okay, so it means what? The Bubsuit will work as an intermediator. Okay, and Bobsuit can modify your traffic and further response also can he check in a Bobsuit. Okay, so that we call the proxy. Okay, I hope so. It's better to show in practical way. Okay, so let me start my Kali operating system. Okay, this one is my target. If you guys don't know about MSF, yeah, meta-exploitable server, please go ahead and search out the Google. You will get a lot of information about meta-exploitable too. So before start our sessions, I just let me explain about meta-exploitable 2 and Kali Linux. Okay, so meta-exploitable 2 is a lab which is vulnerable for the web and services. Okay, there are number of services and number of web applications vulnerabilities, top 10 vulnerabilities. All right. So we will exploit the web applications, web vulnerabilities in these sessions. Okay, SQL vulnerabilities and so on. Okay, so let me find the IP address of my target. I guess my IP is 192.168.0.242. All right. Okay. So now take a look at Kali. Yeah. So IP address 192.168.0.242. This one my target IP address. Okay. When I open this target, web browser look like this. Okay. Fine. So I'm opening the vulnerability platform, which is named like DVWA, a damn vulnerable web application platform, where you can learn web vulnerabilities. Okay, top 10 web vulnerabilities. So the default user and the password is admin and password is password. Okay, just log in there. They will show you a web vulnerabilities. Okay, top 10 vulnerabilities. There is a suit and the your browser. Okay, so using the suit, I would like to intercept the traffic between like your browser and web server. Okay, so here you can see brute force attacks, command executions. We call it a command injections attack, CSRF attack. Okay, file inclusion, SQL injection, SQL blind injection, upload accesses, reflect, and store. Number of vulnerabilities, vulnerabilities. Okay. So first vulnerability is brute force attack. If you having the idea about brute force attack, you can drop a message in chat. Okay. Let me see what uh what do you know about brute force attack? Okay. And even the question is like, do you know about DVWA? If yes, then please drop a message in chat box. Okay. So first, let me tell you, I'm going to intercept the traffic between your browser and a web server. How? Suppose this is your Facebook or Instagram account, or the Instagram. Okay, and where you going to log in your username and password. Okay, so when you try to log in on a Facebook, you need a valid user and valid password. If you don't know password, you cannot log in, correct? So I'm going to log in here by a wrong password. Let's see the output, or you can say the response. So when I put here a wrong password, it show me username and a password is incorrect. Okay, what if I put here or type here a correct password, I guess password, and enter. Okay, the answer is what? Welcome to password protected area admin. It means it accept the password and reply me that you are in. Okay, so this is a simulations types of thing where you can like learn a lot of things. You can learn like how to hack or how to do web application testing. So this type is belongs to brute force attack. If somebody or the attacker don't know user and the password, he can try to do a brute force attack and attempting to guess the password. Okay, so how to guess the password? If I don't know password, if I don't know username, how can I guess user and password? Okay, let me use a brute force, sorry, let me use a bug suit to intercept this traffic and let me guess a password or the username. Okay, so how to intercept these traffic or the bug suit? So it's a very easy process. You need to assign the proxy address or the browser, which I use Firefox. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to. There are two ways. Okay, to intercept or to send the traffic or the bug suit. All right. So first is just go to the setting area here, search here a proxy. Okay, the proxy tab or setting tab will be appear here. And now select your manual proxy configurations, which is 127.0.0.1, which we call HTTP proxy ID or the IP address, and the port number 8080. All right. Now click on the tab. Also use this proxy for HTTPS. Okay, and click on the OK button. Okay, so before click on the OK button, I would like to show you Bubsuit area. Okay, here you can see a proxy tab. Click on the proxy tab. Once you open the Bubsuit, you can see the whole dashboard over here. Just click on the proxy and search your options tab. There is, okay. Then just click on the option. You can see here a proxy listener. So as a default, the running tab is here, that is already a tick mark. If not, then just please click on the tab or the mark here. It means you use 127.0.0.1 and the port number 8080 for your Bubsuit. Okay, so your Bubsuit hold this IP address and the port number. Okay, so somebody want to ping to Bubsuit, he can by using the 127.0.0.1 loop back IP address. Okay, so this one is for the Bubsuit and the port number assigned for the Bubsuit is 8080. Okay, what if I put the IP address like 127.0.0.0, okay, or 1, and the port number different. Okay, bind port is like different. So again, whatever the port number you assign, that port you have to mention here in a proxy. Okay, or the your Firefox site. Okay, here you have to mention the port number which is changed. Okay, yeah. So as a by default, the port number is 808080. So I would like to put it at it is. Okay. So let's see the intercept tab here. It must be intercept is on. Okay, and in default it's off actually. So you cannot send the traffic from the browser or the Bubsuit. Let me show you here. If I open the page testphp.oneweb.com, next page will be appear here. Okay, but on the Bubsuit you cannot see the traffic. You cannot see the traffic. All right, now how to send the traffic? Okay, how to send the traffic here? Let me show. Once again, I'm going to click on the login button, and same the response will be here. Okay, or not on the Bubsuit. So how to send this response to Bubsuit? Just set here the proxy, a manual proxy 127.0.0.1 and 8080 the proxy port number. Click on OK. Now send the traffic from here. Okay, 1 2 3 4. Poor password is wrong. Okay, all right. It doesn't matter. And just click on the login button. Okay, so still this traffic is not sent over the Bubsuit. Why? Because I just wanted to show you, if not intercept is on, then what will be the consequences? So the traffic will not send over here. That one is the troubleshoot problem. Okay, the issue is here. Just turn it on intercept. Okay, now send the traffic or now send the request. Login. Okay, let's see the setting here again. Manual setting, okay. 127.0.0.1. All right. Or turn it. Let me check it here again. Okay. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Or okay, now okay, fine. So the traffic is sent to here. All right. Now, what I want to do here, let me maximize this tab and just click on the forward and the forward. So now the traffic will send from your browser to your Bubsuit, and when you click on the forward button, that traffic or that request will forward to the web server, and further that response will be see you can see here. Okay, now let me click on the brute force attacks, brute force tab. That request again sent over my Bubsuit. Okay, you can see here the request. Now forward the request, it will be sent over the web server, and then a response will here. Now I am going to click on the login. Again, the login form request will come over the Bubsuit. All right, here you can see the request. And now let me show you how to read the request. So normally when you log in, you cannot identify what is going over the browser. Okay, the actual beside the browser, the traffic or the request look like this. Okay, whatever what you the input the password and username, that only the user admin the password 1234. But actual request is this. Okay, might be the request is get, post, put, anything, maybe request. This one is a method actually. Okay, okay, so the method will be discussed later, not now, because if I teach you what or how the method is work, then that will be the another topic. Okay, so let me clear one thing, that what is request? Request is nothing but what you searching for. Okay, I am looking for the login. Okay, and I put here user admin and the password 1234. The password is in a plain text when I intercept the request or the pub suit. Okay, and here you can see host. Host means your target IP or the target domain. The username, which browser you use, that will be appear here. And another thing is like, actually this is very important things while you sending the request. Okay, it recognize your browser, your cookies information, your connections information. Okay, your a number of information or cookies, session information is held by this request. Okay, now how to intercept or how to modify this request? I successfully send the request over the Bubsuit. How can I guess the password? How can I crack the password and find how to find the password? Okay, using the Bubsuit. Let me show you the intruder tab here. Okay, so once you intercept the request over the proxy, just send the entire request over the intruder tab. Okay, how to send the entire request or the intruder tab, and why to send this request or the intruder tab. Let me send it first. You can send the request by clicking on action button. Okay, or you can click right click over here, and directly you can send the request to the intruder. Or also there is a shortcut key control and I. So if you click Control and I, the request will send to the intruder directly. Here, whole request will be appear here. But the problem is what, that request contains some tags for the red lines. Okay, here you can see low, the PHP sessions, and even user and the password and login. They're having some tags. Okay, and the actual or original request, there is no any tags assigned. So just remove this tag, unwanted tag, by clicking on clear button. Okay, so there is a clear button in intruder tab. Just clear this button. What we are going to do, we are guessing the password because I don't know password. Okay, suppose we don't know password, so I want to crack the password. It may be Insta, Facebook, or whatever. Okay, so where is the login panel? So just do this method legally. Okay, I'm not talking about do it for the bad purpose. Once you getting an trap, you will get a punishment. So better is what, do this as a normally white hat hacker. If you working as a VPT members, then you can try to do brute force attacks to checking the security level of your web applications where you work. Okay, it's a very good manner that do a good purpose. Your skill, use your skill as a good purpose. Okay, only. So now what happened here? I just cleared the tag here. Now next step is what? what you are going to guess, I am going to guess username and password. Okay, so there are two payload only, username and password. So make sure that user and password must have a tag. So add the tag. Again, the password also make sure that have the tag. So there are two payload, user and password. So why I apply the tag here? Because I want to guess user and password, and I want to find the password. Okay. So here in intruder tab, you can see a positions, a payload, a resources pool, and option, four options. Okay, one, two, three, four options. So in the position tab, you already set the user tab and the password tab. Okay, so I guess there are two payloads. Okay, two payloads. So now in attack type, you can choose a cluster bomb. If there is a number of two more than one payload, you can choose the cluster bomb. Okay, so just select the or the choose the attacks and set the payload. Now switch to the payload or tab. Here you can see the payload tab, right? Here you can see two payload. First for the username and second for the password. Okay. So I suppose the user may be Vishal. Okay. Just add here. Or I think so the user may be admin. So add here. If you think that user may be Vishal or anything else, you can add from here, or you can add a user list from, if the server is SSH, you can search out the Google that default user for the SSH or default user for FTP if you want to find the passwords for the FTP server or anything else. Okay, the Google is available for to find the user default username. Okay, so you can add from here. All right, now next payload is for the password tab. Okay, now I don't know what may be the password for the admin or the Vishal. I don't know. I want to find the password. All right, if you do know that if you do having the password list, you can load the password list by clicking on the load item from the file. Okay, okay, or you can select the password list from add from the list tab here. Okay, so click on the password. When you click on the password tab, they can load the password, a default password or number of password. It means it will guess the password from these, and ultimately it will be find your password. All right, I guess there must be a password. Okay, your actual password. If not, then this password list will not useful for us. So I'm going to clear the password list and adding here default, or adding my I just want to case here some password like 1234 add 1111 add. Why I'm adding here password manually? Because I just want to show you as possible as fast. Okay, if I add default password list, then it take a lot of time, and session will be drag a lot of long period for. So yeah, I just wanted to add some password like default password 12345 you pass or the password. Okay, and or Vishal 1234. Okay, so it's okay. This one is enough for testing purpose. Okay, I'm just doing the testing purpose. Now position also set, user and the password, payload also set. Okay, one more thing that remember, attack type must be cluster bomb, right? And payload, just set the payload. First is a user and second one is a pass for the password. Click on the option button. Here you can set the grape matches, but you can also ignore these things. Okay, it's okay if you ignore the grape matches. It means if password is match, then it will be tick mark, show the tick mark. So this is not important thing, just focus on the position and payload, these two tab only. Okay, once you fill these two tab, just click on the start attack and wait for your password. Okay, I think so. I got a password. All right. The user is Vishal and the password is 1234. and status is 200. 200 means what? Okay, okay. Successfully you not a login, but you reach the website, and the length of content is 4882. Okay, so let me check the response of this request. Here you can see the request and the response. Request means what? You sending the request to the web server that user is Vishal and the password is 1234, and you asking to web server to authenticate your user and password. So if user Vishal and the Vishal password is 1234, which is authorized, then you will get a correct response, or you will get the access of user Vishal, and the response will be show you successful login using the Vishal user. If Vishal user is not exist over the web server, the answer will be user is not valid or the incorrect password. Okay, so here you can see username and password is incorrect. Okay, so obviously there is no visual user and no such kind of password of 1234. So now remember that the length of 4882 is not valid user or not valid password. So now I am going to ignore the length of 4882. What is 4882? 4882 is the response length. Okay, the contents is 1482 lengths. Okay, 4882 length. Okay, so now I would like to ignore the 4882 length response and request, and I am going to and I'm looking for the difference length, that is this. Okay, the length is 4948 and the other is same. So these are the wrong user and the wrong password, or incorrect user and incorrect password. Might be this is different. So let me check this request and response. Okay, so user request is what? User is admin and the password is password. Okay, it means 1 second guys. Okay, so user is admin and password is password. So I guess this must be user and password. So in a response tab, when I open the response tab and checking the response, okay, here you can see a welcome to password protected area. Okay, so finally this lens belongs to correct user and correct password. Okay, so Bubsuit help you to identify the correct user and correct password, and that mechanism use, in a Bubsuit as very fast. If I put here a long password list, okay, let me close this thing, discard, and click on the payload, add the second payload, clear the tab, add the password from here, and for my security purpose I would like to add password also, default password. So let me check if there is 100 password. Is it possible to crack the password within a 1 minute? I am going to start the attacks. Okay, now one more thing that you can add here, the option tab. Okay, you can add the grape match also. So first clear the entire grape match and add here your wrong username and password error message. Okay, whatever you getting the error message, just add the message in a grape match option. Okay, now whether this message appear in a request response, that will be in tick mark, and except the tick mark might be there is a correct user and the password. So let's see, and click on the star attack. Okay, look at here, within a second it tried to attempt 100 of password. Okay, 100 of password, I guess 100 of password. All right, 200, 300 password guessing. So error message also there, and I guess everyone has same length. So there is no any password still I found. Okay, and it take 600 password. Okay, here you can see 600 password, 6,800 password. Okay, sorry. So the speed of the brute force is very fast. Okay, I guess till I am not completed 1 minute it, but it completed 1,000 password. The length of password is 1,000 and still it's working. Okay, so brute force pro is very fast for the brute force attacks, and once it complete you can recognize the password. Okay, all right, and you already know the user is the admin and the password is password. Okay, might be this take at least 2 minutes to complete 6,000 password. Okay, so let me show you another tab at least. Okay, which one is intruder. So in a sorry repeater. So what is intruder? Intruder used for the brute force attacks. Okay, even you can do the OTP bypass. Okay, so for the OTP bypass you can select like attacks type sniper, because sniper use a single payloads only, and cluster bomb use two payloads. All right, cluster bomb use two payloads. Cluster bomb two payloads. All right, sync. All right, so intruder used for to do brute force attack, and what for the repeater. Okay, so again here I already getting intercept request here. Just send this request over the repeater. Okay, how to send the request to the repeater? You can press the control and R button. Okay, control and R button. Now this request will send to the repeater. Okay, we just discuss about intruder and the process still working over there. Your password on the way, it will be cracked very soon. I hope so. Okay, now next point is what? Repeater. Why we use repeater? Just checking the response on the bub suite. Okay, so I don't know the response if I try over the browser. Okay, if I try here to checking the password, it may take a lot of times, or I cannot intercept the a request over the browser. Okay, but it is possible to do on Bubsuit. Okay, what if I change the session ID? Okay, what if I change the session ID? What will be the consequences, or what will be the response of the request? So once I remove the PHP session ID and send it to the server, the response will be here, and I can you can recognize, or you can check the response here, and you can identify what should be response. Okay, so I guess the response is not showing me correct, so make sure that session ID must be there, and again send the request and check for the response now. Okay, all right, so you can check here some normal changes also. Okay, if the request has CSRF token, what if you change the CSRF token? Is it possible to give you a correct response? That you can also check from the repeater tab. Okay, even I can check the password. Okay, if I put here some random password 1111 and send it to the response, wait for the response. What is the response? You can check from here. Okay, I guess password is wrong, that's why the user and password is incorrect. And what if I put here a correct password, send it to server and wait for the response? Okay, now the response is welcome to the password protected area admin. It means what? Repeater used for to do the R&D research. Okay, what if I change their host? What if I change the user agent and put here my payloads? Okay, is it possible to do reverse shell? That you can do from the repeater tab. A lot of things you can do from here. So let me show you the pretty tab, or the road tab, or hex tab. Hex tab is like hexa. Okay, hexa conversion. The ROM is normal conversion. Okay, Look at here, same rendering means what it will show you like same page which is appear on your browser like this. Okay, you can see over here. Yeah. Okay, even what about the inspect? Okay, inspect means what? You can check the inspect element from here. Okay, the response tab, request tab, here is the inspect elements. Okay, by clicking here you can see the whole inspect. All right, the inspect is not important right here. All right, and this tab is used for to see or to display your response and request tab as vertically or horizontally. So this one is a like vertical tab, like request at my left side or the response or my right sides. So what if I want to make it a vertical? You can. So request upside and the response is downside. Okay, and also you can do single response or request on the single page. So request on the same page, and if you want to see the response, you can click on the response tab. So this one is also beneficial to you because you can see in a big tab. Okay, it's okay. Now what next? So I guess you guys understood a repeater intruder. Let me check my brute force response. So I almost brute force attack almost done, and the like result is okay. So admin password is length is 4948. It's a change. So my password is user is admin and the password is password. All right, I guess every request length is same, right? But the last request length is different, 4948. So each request length is same and last one is different. Okay, when you check the response, here you can check the response result. Here it is. Welcome to password protect area. It means I successfully log in here using the password. And another request response is username and password is incorrect. So it means what? This length denote that user and password is wrong. Okay. So finally we found the user and the password for that username, that website. Okay. So when you open the tab here, just disable your proxy. Why? Because I just wanted to try here on a browser only. Okay, I don't want to send the request for the buff suit. Okay, now just disable your proxy. Okay, and add the password. So insert your password here which you found there. Okay, and click on login button. Okay, I just forget to disable set proxy from here also. So make sure you disable every where. Okay, the proxy. Now log in here again. Okay, password is password. Click on the login now. Okay, so response is what? Welcome to the password protected area admin. Okay, so I successfully done the brute force attacks. I successfully found the password for this website. Even you can use this method to find the user and password for any web login page. Okay. Okay, so using the burp suite or into the tab, you can find OTP or you can find user or password. Okay, and using the repeater tab, you can recognize the request response. Okay, you can change some request, you can do some changes in request, and that will be reflect on the response side. So that one is a good idea for to do a research. Okay, or the burp suite. That's a good things to do the web penetration testing. Okay, now what about the next tab? Let me show you. Let me close brute force. Okay. All right. The next tab is our next tab is what? We completed target, proxy, intruder, and repeater. All right. So target is remain. So let me show you target tab first. Okay. So here it is target tab. Okay. I guess I already started at 192.168.0.242 website, which I added as a crawler. When you try to do brute force attack, or you adding the website, when you intercept the website, it automatically add to target tab, and it try to crawl the information, or we have the a proxy. So here you can see the detailed scroll or the website crawling sensitive information. It shows that under the slash there is a DVWA folder, and under the DVWA folder some sensitive file over there, like favicon, instructions, logout, page info, security, setup, and vulnerabilities, and so on. Okay, so in a target tab you can see the crawling part. Okay, if I click on the DVWA, the contents in the DVWA will be shown here. Okay, and the issues related about any like any page, that will be show you here in an advisory tab. Clear text submissions of password must be there. You know that the issue is what the page contains a form with the following action URL, which is submitted over the clear text HTTP. Okay, it means it's sending the request in a plain text in a C. We called it a CSRF attacks actually. The form of content the following password field is password is in a plain text. So when I log in using this page, at that time it send the password 1234 in a plain text. Okay, so how it look like? It's look like that. Okay, when I put or insert the password here, that password is sent in URL in a plain text. Okay, like username is admin and the password is password. So anybody can check this, or anybody can do the man in the middle attack. Okay, and he can find the user and password simply. So he can find, or he can hack your username and password. So it's better to avoid attacks or doing the sniffing attacks. Just make sure that your request is in a post method. Okay, so this is a get method. Actually I already show you in the intercept section that this method is a get method. So get method means what? Whatever the request is sent from your browser, that will send through the URL. So it asking to server that he needs something. Okay, so what something they need a login. Okay, so the communications will be happen over the URL only. So how to send your request in a plain in a hidden way? Okay, I would like to show you how to secure this request. Okay, first I am going to log it out. Now you can see in a URL, when I put here my password and login, then that request will not show here in URL. So that request sent by the post method. It means it sends in a hidden way. Okay, the request will be sent in a hidden way in a body part. Okay, the request have a header and body part. Okay, if you sending the request in URL, only header part will be sent, not a body part. So in a post method, okay, in a post method, let me show you the post method also by intercepting browser. Okay, first log out. All right, and again, why I'm doing the proxy? I'm clicking on the proxy. It means what? Whatever I put here, whatever I insert here, whatever I want to request, that request will send to a pubsuit. Okay, that request will send to pubsuit. Now just click on the login, and see the here. Okay, that request is here. All right. So user is admin and the password is password. Okay, this part we call a body part. Okay, this part we call a body part, and this one is your header part. Sorry, this one your header part. Okay, so you can see the first line. The method is post method, and if you use a get method, so it will be like send the user and password in a URL. Okay, and like this manner. Let me send, or let me convert the request, change the request method. Okay, the method is changed. Okay, it convert into get method, and it look like this. That method will be, or that request will be see by normal visitor or the user or the URL. Okay, so it's very important that to change the request by default, or if you are a developer, you can change the request. Okay, just make sure that your request, login request, is get sorry, post method. Okay, not a get method. Okay, let me change the request. Now it's a post. Now I can hide my request in a body. But again, here is a problem. When you sending the password, it look like in a plain text. Okay, so it's better to encrypt the password from the client side also. Okay, fine. So in target tab is used to add your website or your site to crawl the server. Okay, or the web server, and you will get a response, request, everything here. Okay, and advisory also, the request and response tab also. Okay, and so many issue, even you can organize the issues from here. Okay, I guess there is another tab in a proxy history tab. Okay, so whenever you try to find the request or send the request, every and each request will be appear here. Again, you can check the request from here as manually, and do the further actions. If you want to do the intruder, use the intruder, you can use. If you want to do or use the repeater, you can use on a particular request. So this one is a very interesting thing. There is a HTTP history also. Okay, so I hope so you guys understood bub suit. Okay, so this is not the bub suit only. If you want to know more about bub suit, it's a huge topic. Okay, and due to the time, because already we crossed the 12. Okay, so due to time, I cannot cover remaining topics on the bub suit. Okay, so I want to start on our next topic, SQL map. Okay, as possible as soon. Okay, so let me stop bub suit topic here, and I hope so we already discussed each and every points which I wanted to wanted to explain here. So target, proxy, intruder, and repeater, these four topics already we cover. Now last point is what? SQL injections. Okay, so how to do SQL injection? First of all, I want to find the SQL parameter. What is SQL injection? SQL injection is a attacks which is available on the any website. If your website database is MySQL database, or then you can find the vulnerabilities on your website. Okay, so one clear. Let me clear one thing, that we already cover Babsu topic, as I told you, that four topic. So I wanted to clear some another topics other than mention on the session. Okay, but due to the time, that's why I just wanted to clear our remaining topic, which is SQL map. So SQL map is a penetration testing tool, or which is used for to find the user and password or the website. Okay, so we find the user and password using the brute force attack. Okay, and using the bubsuit tool. Now I am finding the user and password using SQL map. So this one is another methods which is used to find the passwords, website password. Okay. So how to find the website passwords? This one is my target website, testphp.oneweb.com website, where I want to find user and password. So where I can use this user and password, here you can see. Okay, let me off my proxy. Otherwise, what will be consequences? That request will be sent to the here pubsuit, and it will be stuck over there. Okay, I just stop the proxy tab. Now the tab here you can see a login.php. I need a user and a password for login that I don't know. Now for finding the user and password, I would like to check the SQL injections, because if there is a SQL injection vulnerability, I can find user and a password. So for that, there is a dark which you can use for the Google. The dark is in URL PHP and question mark and site. Okay, how it work? This one is advanced search. Okay, used for the Google. So website is testphp.oneweb.com, and where I want to find a PHP question mark for the website. So that look like in URL, I am going to search PHP question mark. So once you search, it will be show you a number of list. So one of the list, here you can see in URL, there is PHP and question mark and on the particular website. So these parameters belongs to SQL parameter. So I successfully find the SQL parameter, not SQL injection, it. Okay. So this is belongs to SQL parameter. It belongs to database. Okay. Now, first step to find the vulnerability of your SQL parameter. So by applying the inverted comma after the number and click, if there is issues or error of MySQL, it means that website have some issues or vulnerability on SQL injections. Okay, now I'm not showing you a manual SQL injection. Let's see a SQL map tool. So just copy this parameter, entire parameter, and open your terminal here. Okay, I just open the terminal, type here SQL map -u and your website. Okay, so https and hyphen dbs. So dbs means short database. Okay, first let me show you my slide and then practical. Okay, so what is SQL map? SQL map is an open source tool used in penetration testing to detect and exploit SQL injection flows. So SQL map automated the process of detecting and exploiting SQL injections. Okay. How? SQL injection attacks, first user will identify the vulnerability. Like hacker identify the vulnerable SQL driven websites and inject malicious SQL query via the input data. So I will not not going to inject manual malicious injections or manual queries. I am going to use SQL map, which will be inject itself. SQL map itself will try to attempt inject the query itself. Okay, so it will be the automatics process. Okay, so hacker will be identify the vulnerability and inject some queries inside the vulnerable website. And second, a malicious SQL queries is validated and the command is executed by the database itself. Okay, so now the answer or the consequences of the response will be hacker is granted to access to view and alter the record or the potentially act the database administrator. So lastly, once he execute the queries, he can grab or dump the information from the database easily without having the authentications. So that vulnerability is used to find or to dump the database information. So if your database has millions or billions or lakh or thousands of users information, that whole information can dump by a normal hacker. Okay, so anybody who the hacker, he can hack your information if your websites has SQL injections or queries. Okay, so attackers would view look like this. Attackers can like to gather the information and to do the SQL injection on the web applications. He can find the password hash, maybe the password hash in encrypted format, maybe. Okay, sometime it is in a plain text. Okay, mostly it's in a hash. So you have to know about what is hash value. Okay, and once you know that hash is in like the password is in encrypted format, you can crack the hash. Okay, and once you crack the hash, you can log in. Okay, and you can inject or deploy your PHP backdoors or whatever the file format are working on the web server. You can put a payloads or backdoor on the particular website which you hack. The hacker can get a server access, and also ultimate you can or hacker can do the privilege escalation. For example, the hacker got the user like a normal user access like www data user access. Using the privilege escalation, he can get a root access. Okay, so as a normal attackers, the normal attackers is a visitor. If the website has SQL injection, the attacker can switch the access from normal user to root user. Means he compromising the whole entire server as using the web SQL injection easily. All right. So there are commands. There are 4 steps to find the database, tables, columns, and all data. So using this 4 step, you can find the user and the password. Okay, the last one is used for if you don't want to go with to find the database, table, and column methods, you can directly use last one string. Okay, all if you want to find the everything using the single tab or single syntax, you can use last syntax. Okay, okay, dumps all database. So using this using the one tab or one click, entire information will be find in a one click. But I would like to show you a step by step, like finding the database, table names, and column names. So how to find the users? Just find a database name first, and then find the tables, and then the columns. So in a database, the manners of database or the manners of database arrangement is they creating the tables, they creating the columns, and put your information inside the columns only. Okay, so first they create database. There might be 2 or 3 database in a single database. In a single database might be there is a tables, number of table, and there in the table they put some columns. Inside the column they use to add their user information and database, like a password information. So let's go step by step, like find the database name, find the tables name, find the columns names, and so on. All right. Okay, show me let me show me my Kali Linux. Okay, so I just pasted my first string that I am going to find the database name. Okay, so it take a time to find the informations. All right. Okay, so might be there is a there is a my SQL injection used to take information, and it take a lot of time maybe, or it take us within a single click it take information. Okay, so when you type the SQL map and website, you means what? URL. Whatever the URL you are going to inject, just put here and type the database name. Okay, so it take a time, and once it complete, it will show you a database name. Okay, The database name is Accurata and the information schema. So I don't know where is my valid user details. So I would like to choose one of these two. Okay, I'm going first is Accurate's database. So pronunciation might be different. It's okay. So first database is good for me, I guess. So now next tab or next syntax is what? To type SQL map hyphen u and the URL. Type hyphen d. Okay, yeah, instead of hyphen dbs, just type hyphen d. If you know the database, then remove the tab hyphen dbs. It means if you want to find the database, you can put here hyphen dbs. It means it will be find a details of database. So once you got the database name, just make sure that the name of database, and before the database name you can attach your hyphen d, capital D. It means what? I know the database name. Hyphen d means what? I know the database name is this. Now find the tables. Now whatever you want to find, just put here after your database. You know the database name is this. Now what is the tables inside the database? Just find the tables. So now which contains or which elements you don't know, just make sure it must be a last of your syntax and it must be hyphen and the full name. Okay, so I want to find the tables. So it take a time again, and again it will show you the tables. There are 8 tables. Okay, in between these 8 tables, I suppose the users tables is sensitive or useful. Okay, now I got tables name. Now I am going to remove the type hyphen tables and put here the user table and denoting the hyphen t, capital T, because I know the table name. Now I know the table name, so I am denoted hyphen t and put here my table name. So I already know that a database name, that's why I just put here hyphen t and hyphen t, which I know. Into the database, I want to find the users columns. Now what I want to find? Columns name. So when I type the columns name after that, these two queries, that SQL map will find the columns from the database and the username. Okay, so once it complete, it will be find the users column. There are 8 columns. Okay, username, phone number, password, email, and CC number, card number, address, and so on. Okay, so the finally I can type hyphen d means a database, hyphen t for the user. I want to find the information from database, this database, from this table, and the column is uname, email, password, or so on. Now I know the column. Okay, now make sure that what you know, that must be in capital, that must be in capital with single hyphen. Okay, and what you want to find, make sure that things must be after your syntax, and make sure that must be full and with a hyphen. So I'm going to dump the username and password. So it will dump the username and password, and it will show me the user is test and the password is test. Okay, correct. All right, so using the user and the password, you can come here and you can log in using what you find user and the password. Test. I think so the user and password is test. Just let me input here wrong username and sorry wrong password. It show me that if you are already registered, please enter the login information below. Okay, test and test. Now correct password and correct username. Okay, now it accepting authentication done, and it show me you are a valid user. The user is test and password is test, correct. Okay, so we successfully log in here and we successfully find the user and password using SQL injections. So how to find the SQL injection? I already show you. Just find the parameter on the website using Google Doc, or you can do the manual, search. Just click on the RTs, find the parameter over there. If there is any parameter, you can try to do SQL injection. I just check the parameter of the website manually, and accidentally found there is a parameter artist equal to 2. Equal to 2 means what? Something, PHP coding. So might be SQL injection. So let's find by applying the inverted comma. If there is a SQL injection, it means what? Possibility is what? To do SQL injection. Just go over the SQL map using the parameter and step by step find the database, find the tables, find the columns, and once you getting the user and password, log in on the website and you will get the admin panel. Okay. Further, you can do whatever you can do. Just make sure you are doing a pen testing or you are the valid VPT member. If you are not doing a legal, that consequences will be again not good for you.